countdown. All right. Steve Moran. This is
Hey,
Farragold McLaughlin with Steve Moran.
hey guys. I'm not sure I'm going to be on this whole show today. I've been in Denver at the Leading Age show. I had the opportunity to go tour an Ericsson building. For those of you who aren't familiar, they're probably the largest campuses. This particular community has 1,750 residents. When it's fully built out, it'll have 2,500. What was really cool, though, was that I got my tour was John Erickson, who founded the company. He was one of the early pioneers. His son, man, is the leader here, but he's on vacation, and so he volunteered to take me around. So I'll be writing about it, telling some great stories from the very earliest days. But that's not why we're here today, right, Farah?
That's right. Well, we're here today representing the great sponsors, partners, and certainly our senior living Foresight partners that are going to be at Smash next week in Las Vegas, making a difference in the lives of operators and sales leaders. So we're really honored today. We're going to show our Brady Bunch view of our guests today. And then in our coffee and conversation, this is our senior living Foresight coffee and conversation. We're going to talk with each of our wonderful partners with SageAge Marketing. We've got our fantastic team here at SageAge. We also have Dreamscape Marketing, and we have caring.com. And what's so great in this conversation that we're going to have is how everybody works together to help that sales leader at the community level, the regional level, the corporate level, really think smarter about either that lead that's coming in and or how to generate that new lead and certainly nurture the lead. So welcome everybody today to Senior Living Foresight Smash Review. Getting excited about Smash. So I'd love to start right now with our kind of lead gen partner. We've got Denise with caring.com. Denise, can you tell us a little bit about kind of where Caring is today and one of the cool ways that you love working with marketing agencies and partners that we have with us?
Well, thank you for having us. I've actually been with Caring now for over 12 years. We help millions of people every month find senior living. We are a leading site in search rankings. And in fact, 67% of searches are generic terms like assisted living near me, nursing home near me. So we help consumers understand levels of care and what is a match to their budget. And we help operators and communities get found online and maximize that online presence and also manage their online reputation, which is my area of expertise. I've been one of the creators of Caring.com's reviews program that helps the seniors and their families make those decisions in selecting the right community for them.
Oh, thank you, Denise. We're going to come back to reputation management as well. So I'm not going to let that drop. I want to also invite now Deborah and SageAge Marketing. You've been one of our most loyal and long-term partners here at Senior Living Foresight, and you've continued to evolve as an agency. Could you speak to us today, Deborah, around this idea that we're talking about, how to nurture, capture, attract that visitor that's going to come online? And I know that your agency is helping so many large organizations, CCRCs, and one-off communities.
Yeah, we're really lucky to really serve the whole spectrum of the senior living industry. And I would say, as I sort of introduce myself, that we really have that full spectrum in-house. So we have research, we have digital, we have consulting, and we have creative services. And so, I'll say my little spiel about from the consulting world, and then I'd like to turn it over to my colleague, Sean Ochester, to talk more about digital and some of the lead gen things that are happening right now. From my world, the thing that I see most in the way that we're evolving is to really emphasize with our partners that especially sales training, sales learning, sales growth, first of all, is not just about the salesperson, it's about the entire community. And secondly, that you can't see a return on investment from sales training that happens in 2 days. So we've been thinking a lot about continuing growth and how you how you serve communities in their constant getting better in the way that people actually learn and grow their census and occupancy. So that's what we're thinking a lot about on my side, that and also outside sales. So I'm loving seeing some of these other partners on, because we kind of dropped that ball during COVID. We're picking it back up, or we're trying to help people pick it back up. So let me turn it over to Sean to tell more about lead gen and digital.
So thank you, Deborah. From a digital standpoint, I mean, we're always trying to get the communities the right lead at the right time. And there, we take advantage of multiple different types of tactics and strategies for that, whether it's search engine marketing, traditional SEO, possibly some marketing automation through some AI tools and things like that. But ultimately, it is just lead generation. We want to find that prospect where they are, answer their questions, get them basically engaged with the right keywords to get them to the landing page of the website and get that tracking and conversion for all those communities.
And I love Sean and Deborah, you're talking about how that lining up of the marketing message, how that website translates to maybe a collateral piece. And then you hit on the heart of, is the sales execution happening at the community level that actually delivers on some of those promises? And so that's where Dave comes in with Dreamscape marketing. And I really love the differentiation as well. Dreamscape has years of experience in really that specialty acute care, but they've now been in senior living to really listen to the heartbeat of nurturing that lead through the sales cycle. Dave, come on board with us and tell us a little bit about your standing room only last week at Leading Age, and how you're going to bring some of that messaging to Smash so that these great sales leaders can really hear the message as well.
Man, well, thank you, Farrah. And I am just so, I'm still like coming down. I'm in between now. Leading Age was fast and furious. And we had a Wednesday morning presentation on digital, and it was, the last day of the conference. Everybody's tired, and 8:30 in the morning. And we were even joking about, how many people were going to, are going to make it up for us this morning. And so y'all killed it. I mean, we had full seats, and we had people sitting in the back, and we just had operational leaders, community leaders come in to hear about digital, because this is where we've got to bring up our game. And I think even going back to the Nick, pre-conference live cast here, we were talking about what is the opportunity for 2023, and it is, we have to up our game. And that kind of gets reinforced by the fact when we are speaking at Leading Age and things like that is what the audience has come up and tells me. I'm sitting out there with the audience, listening and hearing, and they're telling us they want to hear, the college level, the college level answers. We're not, they don't want the SEO 101 talk anymore. We've got all that. So we're talking about, we just submitted to talk at Argentum in the spring. And again, we want to continue that theme of leveling up in 2023. We want to give that college level class, and we want to build on from the nurturing from the beginning. For the first time we connect with a senior, 75% of them are going to Google first to start their research. And, when they spend their time online, about 50% of it's about 23 hours a week on average. And about half of that is spent between Facebook and YouTube. And these are things that also feed into our digital presence. So we're talking about those first touches to educate with our website, with our SEO, like you're saying, like Sean was saying, get those keywords to connect the right, because not every community is the perfect match for every senior. We want them at their best match. And so it's your funnel top to bottom. And we were very lucky this year. A year ago, we became a part of SPM Group in Chicago, and they are a 35-year traditional hospital and healthcare agency. So now Dreamscape has this even better ability to, we're the digital experts, 17 years doing that in behavioral health and healthcare. And now we have SPM with us, who, when we talk about building that full funnel and building that best funnel possible, because it's not about a full funnel. We want a full funnel, but we also want a very targeted and refined funnel. So SPM gives us the reach now to, we have our digital core, and now we have all of this around it that helps us in the traditional world as well. So it's important. And when we have these presentations and conversations, it's not just about, we've got to switch to digital. It's not that. It's about making digital a healthy portion of your overall plan, but also understanding it and doing it as best you can. So
that's right, Dave.
It's about building the best funnel possible, not just a full funnel. And that may or may not be the title of our Argentum talk.
Well, I mean, today, what's so great is right before us, we had folks that were really moving people through, our other partners that were really talking about the funnel. But today, what I really love here, and that's what I'm hearing from each of you, when each of you from caring.com, the power of the platform. And I want to encourage all operators out there that unless you're 100% full with a waiting list, we want the love and nurturing care of caring.com advisors, because they will be bringing you your next move in. But as we talk with these great marketing experts as well, they all work hand in hand. And when I know, Karen, you're doing reviews and reputation management, you're also wanting to see, and if you could talk a little bit more, Denise, about that reputation piece on the reviews that can then match up as a Dreamscape, as a SageAge, work on that messaging to line up with the actual delivery of the product, the delivery of the care and service. Could you speak to that, Denise?
Of course. So one thing Dave said that was absolutely true is that those seniors and their families are turning to Google, and Caring's reviews program is in Google's reviews from the web module 90% of the time. So they're gonna find your online reputation on caring.com, no matter where that lead is coming from. So you need to have great reviews online. And one thing that's unique about our program from some of the other platforms is that every single review is screened for authenticity and integrity. We have some really strict guidelines. In fact, some of the communities mistakenly upload testimonials and find out how strict we are and not allowing that. So consumers know they can rely on our website to find real reviews from folks just like them, which then help them make the decision. If they're looking at a community that they've seen great marketing by the marketing agencies, right? Great website, heard an excellent sales pitch, but then they go online and there's no reviews. Whereas that other one down the road that they looked at has 15 good reviews. A mix of good and bad, by the way, is better than all good. And who do you think they're going to lean toward? The one where they have other customers telling them this is the better choice.
That's right, Denise. And I'm going to bring Steve back. He's an adult son. He's an adult. He's in a car. He's working. This is what the prospect and influencer is doing today. Right, Steve?
Yeah, well, the thing I really would like to sort of talk about, maybe ask everybody to comment on, is frequently I hear people say, yeah, digital is kind of important, but the leads still aren't very good. And I'm always really puzzled by that, because first off, I look at caring.com and they built a whole business on digital leads, right? That's all they do. And they built a whole business on that. And I find myself wondering if the reason that digital leads are considered not very good is more of an attitudinal problem of salespeople, if I can be blunt, and that if people thought they were better, they actually would be better. So I'd just love to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah,
okay, I'm the salesperson in the room. Can I get feisty about that?
Absolutely.
I think, as my husband would say, when you answer yes to two things, yes. I think it's both. I think it is attitudinal. I think historically, to be blunt, digital leads weren't as good. And so salespeople are having trouble adjusting to a new world where it's better and better. I think, secondly, I'm working with an organization, or I have worked with an organization recently where it's a large organization. There's no feedback loop between the digital happening on a corporate level and the community itself. And Sean will tell you, Sean's the one who educated me. This is how you make a campaign better. We're not afraid of bad numbers. We got to know when something's not good, so then we can go back and make that campaign better and refine it. So if you're missing a feedback loop from the person direct, in direct relationship with that prospect, you're really, really missing out on making your leads better. And then I think thirdly, and everybody will chime in on this, I'm sure, it can't be just digital. That same organization just went years ago to digital only and just watched their numbers go and go and go. Now, they didn't have a feedback loop, but I think when you look at, you, Denise, and what you're offering and what Dreamscape is offering, we kind of end up as a three-legged stool, right? Or a stable stool. I think we all acknowledge that you need all pieces. Like Denise, I think of you as much getting leads as I do outside sales for salespeople, because guess what? My salespeople in community should be developing a relationship with your people. That's how that works, right? And that buttons up that digital lead and brings it fully into relationship and what's happening on the ground, in the field, in the trenches.
That's right. And I want to bring Sean in on that, Deborah, because when we see all of this wonderful spend that is just on digital, but not on how it relates to community. So I'll give an example. I live in Scottsdale. So the brand of company that I live in has a footprint that's pretty broad. So again, we know lots of operators. So operators, you're going to be at Smash next week. Come to these experts because they're going to talk about that corporate feel and look and brand. But then what does it mean to me in Scottsdale? Sean, could you speak to that and how granular you can get around that search in Scottsdale?
So this comes down to, well, first, Deborah, I will make this comment real quick. After 6 years, I can now say, okay, I'm done. She can go take my job for me. But from a granular level, it's actually getting tougher and tougher. So we have to use basically tools like a Talk Further, a site staff, or surveys from a digital standpoint to kind of learn more about who that prospect is. Because if you're just relying on, say, pay-per-click marketing or Facebook advertising, you're going to get lumped into the housing complexity and not be able to target that well. So where the feedback loop comes in handy if we're supplying leads to a community is tell us why that person wasn't qualified. Was it because of financial reasons? Was it because of age or health and things like that? And we can go modify that campaign then to get those correct leads that are supposed to be funneling into that community. And that's that feedback loop, and that salesperson's role is to give us that information. And then from there, I can then go target that right person and get that person to kind of find out more about that community and come in for a tour and hopefully move in.
Now, next week at Smash, thank you, Sean. I want to make sure we get each of you to talk about kind of your place in the Smash universe next week, where people can find you. I know if our viewers today are on, you can see everybody's name here. I hope that you're going to go to LinkedIn and link in with all of these great leaders. But I'm going to start with you, Denise. Tell us about your Smash footprint next week and how the Smash participants can really check you out, say, I want to learn more about what I heard on Senior Living Foresight.
Sure, great. In fact, one of our sessions at Smash is Holly Rehbock, our National Sales Director, and she's going to be talking about lead generation and conversion. One thing I'd like to say to Steve's comment is I agree that it's both. We get feedback from our partners sometimes, oh, that lead was terrible. Well, we communicate to them. They actually moved into one of your competitors' communities. So the lead itself wasn't the issue. And you can use Partner Portal. Any of our partners can use Partner Portal to look at that data. Where did this lead move in? So you can get a sense of who am I losing? Who's eating my lunch, right? Holly's going to talk a lot about that at Smash. It's on Tuesday in the morning. And La Serena 3 and 4 is the location. And then that afternoon at the luncheon, I'm going to do a roundtable, a little bit controversial roundtable about responding to reviews. Are you neglecting, oversharing, or are you really optimized for online review response?
Oh, fantastic. And I just saw Olivia fantastically put that up as well. Remember, if you're a viewer, you just stepped in, you want to come back to us, we're going to repost. This is also going to be with us in our feed. So we're going to make sure you see it. Dave, how are we going to see Dreamscape and your message next week? Tell us about your Smash footprint and how people can find you.
Well, I'm excited this year because while I've been planning Dreamscape Smashes for 3 years now, this will be the first one where the schedules line up and I get to be there. So that's fantastic. That's fun, first off. But I just want to really, they said it all, but just want to reiterate on that connected systems concept. We all, it's not like the chat and the CRM afterwards and the reputation management and the website and the market. We all relate. Like we all need to work together in a connected system to give you that best opportunity. But anyway, Smash, we will be doing Ed Talks in the morning as well on Tuesday. So our SVP of strategy, Glenn Hadley, is going to do lead gen and conversion, and our president, Dan Gemp. Everybody loves a Dan Gemp presentation because you'd never quite know where it's going to go. But he'll be doing digital marketing in our Ed Talks. And then, we'll have our kiosk. We'll have the networking lounge. And then the thing I'm most excited for this year is we'll be doing cocktail connections again. But we have developed a great relationship this year plus with Compass Community Living, and they will be coming along to our suite there to do the culinary, to do the serving, the food, and it's going to be just an amazing experience, and it's a wonderful collaboration between the two companies, and I can't wait to introduce the Smash audience to Compass Community Living as well as the Dream Team. So
delicious.
We're all over it this year, and
awesome.
be a part of it for once. So there.
Oh, that sounds. And then SageAge. I know you've got a Smash footprint that goes way back, and I'm excited. So tell us a little bit more about how our viewers today can find you at Smash.
Sean, you want to take that one first?
Sure. So on my side, I'm actually hosting a luncheon roundtable as well on kind of debunking digital. So talking about what works, what's not working, what's traditional versus digital is working, and things like that as well. There are 5 people actually going from SageAge to Smash this year. So we'll have a good presence and be walking around, engaging with different people at different events and in different sessions as well.
Well, and I understand Bailey, the founder of Smash, has done a really great job, and HMP is now part of that world and owning the Smash event. They've asked that each of you have that calendar day so that you can have the participants schedule appointments. So thank you, Dave, for pointing that out.
Yeah,
I know Steve would want me to ask each of you to dream big. So I'd like to start with you, Denise, and kind of really talk about maybe where you came from in the dream and what caring.com's dream and hope is for senior living and how you can be a part of it. I'll start with you, Denise.
Wow, that's a huge question.
It's a big one, and you've got 60 seconds.
Okay, great. I dream of a world where it's much easier for seniors and their families to get the best fit community for them easily. And a world where they can easily find tons of online reviews. We're getting more current online reviews. We get so many requests every week from seniors calling me. They're clamoring for recent reviews. So the community is embracing the digital opportunity and doing a fantastic job nurturing those prospects and convincing them that they are the best fit community and then delivering exceptional care.
Wow, Denise, you said it. I want to make sure everybody heard what I heard, that families are calling Caring for more reviews. So that tells us, Dave, I don't know what your big dream is, but I'm sure a little bit has to do with reputation management as well. Tell us about your big dream as you're going forward. And you've grown a lot as an agency in your senior living experience, where you want to take that dream with Dreamscape.
We have. It's been an amazing, I say 3 years, but then our first year was COVID. So I really say it's 2 years, but it has been such a fast 2 years.
Dave,
yeah.
Dave, can I jump in for just a second? I'm arriving at my destination, so I'm going to have Jada take me off. I love what you guys are doing to change the industry. I can hardly wait to see the audience next week in Las Vegas at Smash. But most importantly, thank you for what you do to make the world for both people who are living in senior living, the families, and the people who work there better. It's how we make the world a better place together. So I apologize. I can't stay for the rest of it, but I love you.
Thank you, Steve. Bye-bye.
Bye,
Thank
Steve.
you.
Bye.
Yeah, Dave. So Dave, I so love that you've been with us as a partner and, in that dream of Dreamscape, no pun intended, right?
All right. Well,
we've all grown too. I'd love if you want to share sort of, if someone's watching us today, each of us as businesses has to continue to evolve, right? Sure. So if an operator thinks, oh, it's just us, my community has to evolve. We're all evolving. We're all having to stay present to the changes in the market. And Dave, could you share your big dream with Dreamscape?
Well, I think that's it, right? So one of my personal things that I hold close is we win or we learn, right? We don't go backwards. We either win, we either get it right the first time, or we learn and then how we get it right the second time. But listen, I think it's putting, as a marketer, you know, we always want to speak and put ourselves in the shoes of the final recipient of our services. So in this case, it's the seniors. And so where does that line up with Dreamscapes? One of our founding principles is that creating an online transparent healthcare marketplace. And what that means is if each community is doing its own marketing, it's putting its best thought leadership out there, it's talking about its services in detail to make those best connections. If it is getting online and ranking where people are searching for that information and finding it readily, that is creating a public service. We are creating a transparent online marketplace. That is what Dreamscape has always been about. And I think that is the best thing we can do as a marketing agency for the senior living community. That is the best thing we can just deliver on whole, is a transparent marketplace for people to find the best answers to their questions and their decision making.
Thank you so much, Dave. Thank you. Yes. And Deborah, SageAge, sort of that big dream.
Well, so I won't speak. Well, maybe I'll try to speak for Sean, but he can have his moment too. I just wanted to say that our sales training, what I would call a suite of, I just wrote this down, a suite of learning experiences now, because we have so many ways you can do sales learning, is called Grow. And so that picks up on every single thing that we've all been talking about. You cannot stay still, but also not just towards something random, right? Or arbitrary or revenue. The other thing I hear from everybody that I want to come back to is mission, mission, mission. I have been so distraught, not just in our industry, but across industries over the last 3 years since COVID started, at how much attention to customer service we've lost and commitment to that. And so my big dream from a sales perspective is for companies to not have sales learning as a tiny little line item under all their things that they do once every 5 years. But if we'd have a commitment to learning sales as communication, which then translates into mission, which translates into what everybody's been saying, which is a better experience for families, then I think we have something sort of at the root of what we're trying to do, and something really great. So that's my dream.
Oh my gosh, I love it. You know, I come from a background of sales leadership, and but old school sales leadership that was relational before computers. You know, so it had to be on the pavement, pound the pavement, develop a relationship. And I really love that each of you have really hit on, you know, the art of, you know, making sure our messaging matches the deliverable, and then that culture, truly a culture of sales and sales caring. Sean, I'd love for you to kind of speak to, you know, as you create collateral and messaging, you know, helping an organization that, as Deborah said, may have a mission, but isn't in alignment around every touch point that either a customer or an associate, we're not even talking about associates, but we know they're big referral sources and they are part of our ecosphere. Could you speak to that in your big dream around the collateral and the marketing message?
Absolutely. So, I mean, at SageAge, our mantra is to work as we. So we want to work together, all of us. So whether it's Dave, Deborah, Denise, basically everybody at Senior Living Foresight, and basically work together to understand who the senior is. What can we use today to go and find that senior and get that match to that community? What new tool can we, I guess, invent from a digital standpoint that's going to make it easier for that senior to go and find out about that community and move in? That's the goal, at least on the digital side of SageAge, that I like to focus on, is finding those unique pieces to go work with all these smart people to kind of find that next tool, that next, I guess, fun project, as I like to say, and then have that senior move and find that community they're interested in.
Thank you so much. We're coming up on like 30 seconds to close. I'd like to close with a summary that anyone that's watching us today, from an investors, I know that you want the best from your communities. Owners as well. Sometimes the owner isn't necessarily the investor, but each of you might be watching it. Certainly if you're the operator, you're the community sales leader, and you're going to be at Smash next week. Even if you're not at Smash, you can reach out to each of these leaders. But as you're hearing, I really heard today, and I know that at Smash you're going to hear it as well, is sort of this unified focus on culture. Caring.com is there to help even advance the reputation management. When I hear of SageAge and their power that they're putting in to support you and your sales teams, and then Dreamscape, dreaming big, making sure that alignment is around that bigger digital platform. Each of you are bringing those unique perspectives. And next week at Smash, everyone reach out, schedule an appointment, and be with all of our great senior living Foresight partners. Thank you today. Caring.com, SageAge, and Dreamscape.
Thank you,
You're
Sarah.
welcome. Thank you for having us.
Thank you very
We'll
much.
stay on as we